Hi guys, welcome back. So today I want to start my ranunculus. Now, I meant to do this over a month ago. It is May 10th currently right now, and I have it written in my planner to start pre-sprouting my ranunculus on April 1st. Life happened. Nature had its own ideas of how this year was going to go. I still had several feet of snow and just frigid temperatures on April 1st, and for most of the April we had snow. And it wasn't until just a couple weeks ago where our ground finally unthawed, and then where I was going to plant these, life changed again and we had some different plans, and then I ended up putting them in a different area that is not yet a garden. So we have rented a bobcat. Hopefully this Friday in 4 days we will be tilling and getting everything ready to go so I can plant these. But I just thought, you know, why don't I just start now, because it is supposed to rain a ton, and if it's too muddy then we're going to be pushing back the bobcat an extra week just to give the ground some time to kind of dry up a little bit. So nonetheless, I am starting these today so they are ready for whenever we get them in the ground. Now I live in a zone 3. Now these are cold crops, so when it gets super hot they don't do well, but I live in a zone 3, northern Minnesota. We don't get that hot in the summertime. I got all of my corms from the Flower Hat. You can find him on Instagram. I'll link his info down below. He specializes in any spring bulbs and ranunculus corms and anemones and dahlias, I think. Yeah, he has dahlias. Anyways, he's awesome. Check him out. He lives in Montana in a warmer zone than I am, and he is still planting his Ranunculus corms outside. So I figured it's still okay to do. So what I've done already, I've kind of started the process. I have 4 different varieties. I am growing the Juliet, which is a beautiful pink, Rose, which is a little bit darker of a pink, but still a pink nonetheless. I have white, and then I also have a pastel mix, which is kind of a beautiful lemony, pinky, reminds me of pink lemonade. That's the best way I can describe it. And Ranunculus corms, they like to get soaked for at least 3 to 4 hours beforehand. Do you have to do this? No. Some people just pop them in the ground and have awesome luck and they're good to go. But they look like kind of dried octopuses beforehand. I got a clip I can show you. They're kind of dry and shriveled, and then afterwards, after they've rehydrated, they're a lot more plump and they just look a little bit better to me. So you want to soak them for 3 to 4 hours, and it's important that you keep oxygen in the water. So if you have like a little aerator or like a fish bubbler for fish tanks, or you can keep the hose on or your faucet on with just a slow drip, and that just adds enough oxygen in. Or you can do what I do, where I just every 45 minutes to an hour, I just went and I poured more water in, and as the water pours in, it kind of makes bubbles. So that's the way I did it, to add oxygen back into the water. Okay, and I will be pre-sprouting, so that pretty much means I'm going to be sprouting them before throwing them into the ground. The Flower Hat, I know he said he doesn't pre-sprout, he soaks them and then he plants them right into the ground. Which sounds appealing, but like I said, I just don't have my spot ready yet, so I won't be doing that quite yet. So I'm going to be putting them in trays. These are just humidity domes. I was trying to find the bottom actual trays, and I use them all, so this will work just fine. What I'm going to be doing to pre-sprout, normally when you do that, it's still chilly outside, you know, you're still getting frost every night. So you just want to put them in a recommended temperature of about 50-55 degrees Fahrenheit. Somewhere that's just a little bit warmer than outside to get these kick-started and growing, and it helps shave off some extra time, so you'll be getting blooms a few weeks earlier than if you don't pre-sprout. However, it is May 10th, like I said. It is 66, I think, out right now, 66 degrees, and I'm actually just going to be leaving them outside, but that way when it's ready to be planted in the landscape, they're already acclimated to the weather. So I have some trays here, 2, and I am just going to put a little bit of soil in the bottom, and this is a little damp, barely damp, just a little bit, because if it's too wet, your ball or your corms will start to rot. So I added just a tiny bit of moisture. You can kind of see it kind of holds its shape a little bit, not a whole lot. So I'm adding a little bit of soil to the bottom. I think maybe I only need 1 tray. I was thinking I would do 2 varieties in each tray, but I'm gonna see if I can do it in 1. And then I have some tin foil. Hopefully it's not too noisy. I'm gonna be using this to separate the varieties. So I'm just gonna fold it in half and kind of stick it in like that. Oops, maybe do it one more time. So that way I can kind of keep the different varieties separated. Okay, I made 4 spots like this, and then I'm just going to take my first ranunculus. I'm doing the rose, and when you pre-sprout, it really doesn't matter, but I'm going to be putting the tentacles down like this. So everything pointed down. What, honey? Oh, thanks, honey.
You're welcome.
Oh, whoa, look at all those. Thanks, baby. They were in the grass?
Yeah, what's that?
Oh, they're dandelions.
Yeah.
They're pretty, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and change my mind. I am going to do 2 varieties per tray, so I'll be using 2 trays. Okay, you guys, I have all of these potted up or planted, pre-sprouting. I will be putting them indoors. I was gonna leave them outside just to get used to the weather, but we're supposed to get a bunch of rain, and I don't want these to fill up with rain and rot. So I'm gonna be putting these inside, keeping a close eye on them. I'm not gonna water them anymore until I start to see sprouts. Watch them though. If it's getting super dry, give them a little shot of water. You don't want it to dry out completely, but definitely don't want it too wet, otherwise your corms will start to rot. So super excited to see how these grow and hopefully see their blooms sometime this summer. So please follow along and join me on this adventure of growing these ranunculus. I'd love to show you what they look like when they are blooming. So thank you so much for watching and joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye.